Снова, 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 снова. Я посмотрел в интернете, как делать слайд скип. В этой попытке попробую его сделать.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. And don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time.
Не-не-не.
Your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain
Так, ну давай
essential
попробуем.
that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And
Почти.
the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire
Ой, мне
reservoir.
так не хочется этим заниматься, если
It
честно.
might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. Prod
Хер
and
это.
poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise.
Зачем вот все это, если я могу просто так пропрыгать? Учиться надо. А кто знает, может быть, это был мой ПР, если бы я не пытался выполнить слайд-скип.
The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real. When you're building a video game world, you're working with ideas, and that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with,
Так,
and in the process of
начинается
playing with
дрочь.
them, they begin to harden and set until
Мне
they're
нравится его
beautiful like
пинать.
rock. And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas. For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context, and once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
Нет, ну куда?
Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet. It now vastly
Ой, ну почему это так
outweighs
быстро
our
произошло?
fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. Be games, be movies, be music, be philosophy. Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever thought of in it.
Нехорошо.
Infinite and unsorted.
Хорошо.
There's 3D models of breakfast, Gen X's fanfic novels, scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes.
Очень хорошо. Прям
Facebook's got lifelike bots,
хереть.
branded adverts and canned
Я
shots
расту
of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups.
в их
Car
познаниях.
crash epic failed gifs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering, disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight.
Это место
In this context, it's tempting to make friendly
мне
content
нравится.
that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things? When games were new, they wanted a lot from you. Daunting you, taunting you, resetting and delaying you. Players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly, a quick fix for the fickle, some tricks for the clicks of the feckless. But that's not you, you're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat. Now I know, most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you, like a baby bird being fed chewed up food. That's culture too. But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm saying is,
Ну почему так
trash is
слабо-то, а?
disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable. What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it if you got this far. Feeling frustrated? It's underrated. An orange is sweet, juicy fruit locked inside a bitter peel. That's not how I feel about a challenge. I only want the bitterness. It's coffee. It's grapefruit. It's licorice. It feels like we're closer now. Composer and climber, designer and user. You could have refused, but you didn't. There was something in you that was hidden, that chose to continue. It means a lot to me that you've come this far, endured this much. Every wisecrack, every insensitivity, every setback you've forgiven me is a kingly gift that you've given me.
Хочу это место научиться быстро проходить. Это ж легкое.
We have the same taste.
Ну нихуя
you
себе
and
ты,
I.
блядь.
It's
Прикол.
not ambition. It's ambition's opposite. An obdurate mission to taste defeat. You'll feel bad if you win, so I put this snake in for you.
Промкнулся. Съебись. Все будет заебись. Надо только ждать. Вроде бы зацепился, вроде и нет. Почему он иногда хорошо отталкивается, иногда никак, блядь, не отталкивается? Вот что это сейчас было? Почему я так сильно толкнулся? Почему я сейчас не зацепился? Блядь, как меня бесит эта гора, нахуй. Самое скучное, блядь.
Have you thought about who you are in this? Are you the man in the pot, Diogenes? Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer? I think not. Where your
Пиздец.
hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. In this you're his will, his intent, the embodied resolve in his uphill ascent.
Не хочу, чтобы Беннет Фодди молчал. Вот где здесь? Посередине вроде где-то, да? Да. И вот тут.
Now, you've conquered the ice cliff, the platform, the church, and the rectory.
Вот еще бы это место задрочить.
Playground, the construction site, the granite rocks.
Прям вот чтобы не было вот этих проблем.
Learn to hike. There's no way left to go but up. And in a moment, I'll shut up. But let me say, I'm glad you came.
Ну почему он сейчас так слабо оттолкнулся? Почему сейчас так слабо? А почему сейчас так сильно? Сука. Сколько? 14 минут. Ну вот если бы я это быстрее проходил, а? Пиздец! Господи! Мне как будто нож в спину всадили. Ёбаный в рот. Блядь! Ах, сука. Блядь, ну бля. Ну все, не ПР. Не ПР. Полный пиздец. Такого пиздеца у меня еще не было. Остановись! Да блять! А мог быть ПР.
I dedicate this game to you, the one who came this far. I give it to you with all my love.
17:32. На минуту 3 секунды. Ах.